several members of Rock Presbyterian Church attended the Newcastle Presbytery's retreat talking about the generations at Ocean City. And we were inspired by what we learned there, and we thought it was very, very applicable and relevant to the different trends within our own church and the different generations that we have represented. And so we've been talking about these themes in our committees and in our Bible studies and in worship. And we just wanted to share with you how the generations are present in our congregation. So from the GI generation, we have Harold Deem, who is a faithful and loyal member and has served as clerk for many, many years. And then we have Betty Moore, who is our current treasurer and has chaired just about every committee in the church. She is from the silent generation and fits that description very well as someone who flows with change and is optimistic and hopeful about the church. And then here we have John Acuff, who is from the baby boomer generation and probably had his hippie days, I'm sure, but is now here as a faithful member and follower. And then Patrick Duffy is from the millennial generation, so he's from the youngest represented generation from the group. And then on the end we have Paul Templin Ashford, who is a Gen Xer or a Generation 13, and Noah, who is uncategorized,
undesignated
at this point.
We know each other well, and we get along well together. I think everybody was understanding. I always felt of myself that I was committed, and I couldn't understand why some people couldn't be committed as I thought I was, which I often think, judge not that you be not judged.
Mm-hmm.
And what makes the generations work in your church?
I think we work together as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Each one wants to share their part.
Betty is silent.
I'm waiting for Hal to finish. And I think of my own experience. As she mentioned, I've chaired a number of the committees, and I have always tried to have a wide span of the generations serving on the committees.
Yeah.
And we try to have activities that involve specific generations, but we also have activities that involve intermingling of generations. And I think both of them seem to have worked well for us.
Mm-hmm. And what's it like for the pastor? You are which generation?
I'm Generation X or Generation 13.
Okay. And what portion of your church is from Generation X or 13?
I would say surprisingly a larger number than most churches I've been to.
And is it because they have a pastor that age that, do you think you've drawn some, or what?
I think it's a mix.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are definitely people, this area has a strong heritage and a strong sense of family, and some folks are just following in their family's footsteps and have strong ties to the church, but they're also, I think I know a lot of my friends who are seeking and looking for a place to call home and haven't really found that, and so come here maybe looking.
Yeah.
So I think it's a mixture of those things.
John, I appreciate the music. You think the music with a guitar helps to bring young people in?
To bring young people, yes. And it's been interesting that where I've been that has the guitar praise music, it turns out that a lot of the GI generation and the silent generation, when it's removed, is very disappointed that it's gone.
Uh-huh. And the next younger, what do you find about rock that pleases you? What do you find here that draws you week to worship?
Well, rock's been my home since the start. I was raised at rock, so it's just natural for me. One thing about the generations that I would say is that yes, there's one representative for everyone here, but there's many more, of course, than the congregation. And we all get together well. And I know, at least within my generation, my age group, there's a strong fellowship, and I'm sure the case with all the others, and we all come together as well for activities together, or even separate activities, like we have a young adult group. Just yesterday, there was scrapbooking events where I'm sure many generations were together and having fun. We just all get along really well.
Now, Paul,
Mm-hmm.
I really like your website, and they told me that you did that.
Yes.
That's great. Do you find that the web brings some folks to church? They look for it for information?
I think it has brought some people like that are looking to find churches in the area. It allows them to find a place and allows us to express our own views so that before people come, they could have a better idea of what the church may be like when they get here.
Good. I didn't make it the whole time. Church stay the whole time.